PunchPod in stereo. Every week, PunchPod brings you live stand-up comedy from Seattle. And now, episode 15.
A lot of women are like, I don't like that. That's degrading. Stripping's degrading to women. But it's not. If you think about it, a stripper is usually on a stage like this, elevated above all the men, in a position of power, held on a pedestal, really. So stripping is very empowering to women. So if you believe in women's rights like I do, you should support your local strippers. Now, I will say this. What is degrading is the way that a stripper has to get on her hands and knees to collect her tips. That's fucking horrible. That's very degrading. But that's not stripping. That's just how she gets paid. Like, what's your name, sir? Mark. Mark. Like, imagine if that's how you got paid, Mark. I don't know what you do, but maybe you go into work on Monday and your boss is like, Mark, I've been looking at the numbers from last month. You had a really good month. Well, it's payday, bitch! And he just fucking throws a whole bunch of fucking ones. And poor Mark's just like, fuck, thanks, boss. He's just on his hands and knees, in his underwear for some reason. I don't know. Maybe it's Casual Friday, you don't know. It's just sitting there just going, I really wish we'd get direct deposit. I fucking hate getting paid this way.
I think actually the worst tagline in the world might be Delta. Delta is actually, we'll get you there. It's literally like Delta, we are a form of transportation. It's not like, we'll get you there, like safely, on time, alive. It's like, you will arrive in some fashion. We are Delta, setting the bar low. It's amazing.
It sort of bothers me when dudes like super macho dudes nickname their dicks. They're like, oh yeah, man, she wanted to see Head Honcho in the Trouble Bubbles. Like, it's a band name for their dick, you know? Because the thing is, like, if I was gonna nickname mine, it'd be like Mr. Casual, you know? It's like a sarcastic nickname because I have a super, like, hysterical penis. Throws up all the time at parties.
Oh my God. Wow.
A lot of guys think that nude beaches are a good idea until you actually go and you find out that there are an abundance of women that do not take care of themselves, pubically speaking. Like, at all. It's, a lot of women still rock the 70s hedge maze. You know? Apparently Victoria's Secret is that she also grows blackberries.
This guy with the hair, you? Okay, if you and I were to have sex, we would have to find a scrunchie before we found a condom. Jesus fucking Christ.
We've been starting to have like the conversations about the future, you know, the terrifying ones. Like we said, like, hey, what if we had a baby? And I was like, well, that's irresponsible on a lot of levels. Mainly because I'm 40 years old, and I read an article in the paper that said, if you are an older man, when you father a child, you are at a greater risk of fathering a child with learning disabilities. And I think it would be unfair to my girlfriend to make her take care of two idiots.
So the 99%, kind of popular, I guess we're all part of it. I think they'd do a lot better if they had, you know, Purell right as their ad sponsor. I needed some hand sanitizer at Westlake. Nice to meet you, nice to meet you, nice to meet you. Fight the power, wash your hands.
I'll tell you a little bit about the last job I got fired from. I worked at a restaurant and a Club Med in Florida. And I worked for a French chef, which at first I was really excited about because I figured being French, I'd win every single argument. You didn't cook that right. Yeah, I did. Okay. But it didn't quite work that way. And he had this thing where he would go off on me and yell at me, but he'd start in English and then slowly work his way into French. Like, look at the way you played that. It is sloppy. I cannot believe you work so sloppy. I don't speak French, but that's what it sounded like to me. So one day I got really pissed off, so when he came to me, I was like, Josh, what are you doing? So I jumped up in his face and went, look. Frère Jacques dormez-vous sur les matines d'Andon, la chocolate mousse ne voulait un dynamite, Frère Jacques John, Claude Van Damme, Gérard Depardieu. Motherfucker.
I
started a new job recently, and all my coworkers, so normal. It's disconcerting. They'll tell me things like, "Oh, you're the quietest guy here. It's so strange." I'm like, "Yeah, because you're not ready to talk about the emotional power of German girl rock." I walked in this door ready. I'll open my mouth when you're prepared.
I just got back from a road trip. I went to a couple different states, but I saw a tourism sign for Montana. And whoa, they have a horrible marketing department. Because the slogan was Montana, the gateway to Yellowstone. You know your state fucking sucks when you're advertising ways to leave. Like, welcome to Montana. Door's over there. We hear Wyoming's nice. You can tip. I've been writing some slogans for Montana. Montana, where the animals that don't kick are marked with signs. Montana, where it's okay if the only thing you got on your SAT was drool. Yeah, you go ahead and tell that teaching lady you don't need all those letters. You just need U and S and A. You tell her like you like your beer, like you like your violence. Domestic.
Punch Pod is recorded live at Punchline Fridays and Tuesdays in Seattle. Tonight's episode starred Jay Hollingsworth, Dana Flightman, Tom Bridgman, Kevin Addison, Jennifer Burdett, Jason Goad, Sam Snyder, Josh Rodriguez, Andy Palmer, and Peter Williams. This has been Punch Pod. Find more at www.punchlinefridays.com. And thanks for listening. I'm your announcer, Selma Body.